folks, we're going to start the show off with this. The following people have been elected to be inducted into the Independent Professional Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame by the Board of Directors of the IPWA for this individual's outstanding support, accomplishments, and dedication to the independent professional wrestling industry on this 12th day. Wait, what is today's date? Today's the 12th. On this 12th day of November 2011.
Hey folks, welcome to stately Pennsauken, New Jersey. But more importantly, Devastation University and the absolute icon, independent pro wrestling. The fellow in charge, my friend, Doc Diamond.
Say anything about it?
Where is Larry?
I'm going to call him out. Call him out here. Okay, the next one I'd like to introduce. I met him back in about 1982. First Monster Factory in 83. He probably doesn't remember, but worked with him at the CYO, same time in 83. And he's been my friend ever since. He was my best man at my wedding. Stole my limousine. Got me hooked on Crown Royal and that Rolling Rock beer, which is nasty. But Larry Sharpe, Prettyboy. Right, Larry? Larry, we wanted to introduce you. This is DWF. And, of course, you know, Devastation University here. And if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be in this business. You kept my faith in the business, and you showed me respect for the business, which a lot of guys these days don't have. I'm learning that every day, running the school for 10 years now. I don't know if you remember, I met you back, it was either 82 or 83 at CYO up in Trenton. And you invited me down to the Monster Factory. The first one at the old airplane hangar when we used to have buckets hanging around when the rain would come down. I don't know if you remember that or not. But I told these guys, you're my best man at my wedding. And still waiting for the limousine. Takes it on a Saturday, brings it back on Tuesday.
Who's next? Talk about Larry, one of my best friends in the business. Larry Sharpe and I got in this business probably around the same time. A lot of people don't know that he was one of the top amateurs in New Jersey from a program that really meant something down in Paulsboro. So when you guys hear about a shooter in our business, Larry Sharpe, it was one of the best. But the best part is he's my friend. We've been in different territories together. We actually share the same birthday. But I won't tell you some of the birthday presents that Larry has provided for me in the privacy of our dressing rooms, since we have a mixed crowd. However, I think it was well worth our trip today to come down here and honor our friend, what we called in the business a really good hand. When the guys in the business said, hey, he's a good hand, that was a big compliment, because that's our little secret talk about how good a guy is in the ring. He represented himself all over the country, and in fact all over the world, and did it with dignity and respect, and he respected the business that we love so much. So Doc, if you're going to present this award to Larry, let me be the first to say, no one deserves it more than my friend Larry Sharpe. Next. I hope he doesn't want me to read something because I didn't bring my glasses. Tom Brandy. I know Tom Brandy since he's a young guy, since he first came into business. He's still a young guy compared to us. You folks might not know him as Tom Brandy. But I know him. I know him as a guy that made his bones in the business, that did it the old-fashioned way, and was a major star with all the big federations, the NWA, WWF. In fact, he was with the WWF before they got the F out. He's a guy that's represented us, and he's a guy that has made me proud to know him. Another guy that's shown the dignity and respect and deserves the dignity and respect of everybody in this business. Because for some of the independent guys like Tom Brandy, Larry, and Dick Worley made it possible. It's my pleasure, it's my honor, and I'm really happy I got to introduce Tom Brandy.
Thank you, Davey. Appreciate it. Says a mouthful. You know what? It all starts with the fans. It all starts with these guys right here. Doc, thank you. It's been 27 years, and when I was a kid, I watched Larry Sharpe, idolized Dick Worley, Davey O'Hannon, best Spectrum wrestler. When my dad took me to the Spectrum, right there, Davey O'Hannon. If you want to bring the juice, that was Davey O'Hannon. And I stood back and I said, look at this guy. Unbelievable. Didn't have to be Hulk Hogan, didn't have to be Bruno Sammartino. But when I looked at guys like that, you left your impression with me. Doc, you run a great establishment. Whatever you do, it's appreciated. Because everybody around the ring, this is where it starts. You know, you get in the wrestling business, you think, I want to be a WWE superstar, TNA, whatever else. This is the heart of professional wrestling right here. 27 years. 27 years in wrestling for me. Grew up a wrestling fan, but the Indies are what it's all about. You can go to the top and come back, but everything is, the table's always round. You can start here. You can go to WWE for a while. You're only there for a time, okay? But then you'll always come back to the Indies. The Indies are your home. The Indies are the greatest place on earth when it comes to professional wrestling. And every one of the young guys, you see it in their eyes. And the one thing I remember when I got my first chance, it was WCW in 1992. I went in the locker room and I said, everybody's different. Everybody's different from the Indies because these guys start making money, and with money comes egos and attitude and everything else. And I said, you know what? I miss the Indies. I said, I'm going to make my money. I'm going to leave my mark. I'm going to go from WCW to WWF. But when it's all said and done, whether it's all together, it was 8 years. But after it was over, the Indies are my home. And thanks to people like Doc and everybody else, all the fans, just keep supporting independent professional wrestling. This is our home, and it always will be. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate it.
Thank you. If you remember, you used to call me for midgets all the time.
I know.
But politically correct little people.
I know.
Next Next one I'd like to announce is a gentleman I met years ago, 20-some years ago. I met him at a Carolyn Kelly promotion up north. And she wasn't going to pay the boys. And I just had to meet Tommy Cairo because I punched out her husband. Tommy Cairo, come on out.
So I'm starting to get the impression that you're going to hand me this microphone a lot. Just so you know, guys, this is all ad-libbed. Anyway, Tommy Cairo. Oh. I got a pain in my solar plexus. That's how I met Tommy Cairo. Tommy Cairo, a lot of you folks may not know, Mr. New Jersey, all right? Long time ago. Like Twisted Steel and Sex Appeal. That was Tommy Cairo. Tommy Cairo I met when I finished with the WWF, and I thought it would be a really good idea to put Vince McMahon out of business and try promoting. If there's anybody around here that thinks they can do that, let me tell you something, you can't. However, Tommy stuck with this business. Another fella that worked for all the big federations. And again, for me, it's a treat tonight. I didn't know I was going to see Tom Brandy. I didn't know I was going to see Tommy Cairo. These are the guys that kept this business alive and respectable for a lot of us. I wrestled Tommy Cairo. That might be why I walk funny now. But anyway, but Tommy Cairo's a friend for a long, long time. We go back more than 30 years. And another guy who's comported himself very well in this business, is respected all over this business. And once again, it's my honor and my privilege to be able to present this award to Tom Cairo. I guess I might as well keep this. That's what it looks like, right? Do you know any dentists? Go like that. Oh, jeez, look at that. Anyway.
Next gentleman I'd like to bring out is, I met him years ago, and just happened to, he was busted wide open, and he trusted me to stitch him up. He doesn't remember too much, but Fred Rubenstien, please come out. NWA official.
First of all, I'd like to thank Doc and the Independent Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame for bestowing this award upon me. I'll take a couple of minutes before I introduce Freddie. You know, these guys, amazing. Every one of the guys in this ring at one time or another has been on the other end of the phone or the other end of a conversation, and they've always been nothing but supportive. Unbelievable the amount of time that they put in grooming us so that we could carry on this great tradition, especially of indie pro wrestling. What all you guys that are indie wrestlers have to understand is all the big stars, they got their breaks on the backs of the indie wrestlers, the guys that were in there making them look good. And a lot of talent that never made it to any of the top promotions deserve to be there, and some of the people that are there probably don't deserve to be there. So let's have a big hand for all the indie wrestlers, everybody that's been busting their hump all these years. God bless you all. The next guy, a good friend of mine, we happen to be in business together at the present time, running NWA Coastal. Freddie and I have been up and down the road many, many times. A lot of close calls. He drove most of the time. And I'd like to introduce a good friend of mine, NWA, Freddie Rubenstien.
Hey, Fred.
Thank you, Doc. God bless you, too. Thank you. Love you. Let me tell you something. You've heard it said, there's $1 million worth of talent surrounding me. And there's 1 million memories. Larry Sharpe, Dick Worley, who I learned a lot from. Tom Brandy, who is one of the greatest, one of the most versatile wrestlers to ever enter the squared circle. And Davey O'Hannon, man who never forgot where he came from, keeps the respect alive, his work with the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. And there's, is there any superlative that's too good for Doc Diamond? A man who is keeping indie wrestling alive. Surrounding this ring right now, thanks to Doc Diamond, are the future Bruno Sammartinos, the future Fabulous Mullahs, the future John Cena's. They're all here because it starts right here. As Tom Brandy said, when you're going up the ladder, remember, eventually we all come back down. I felt really old coming here today. One reason is because I am really old. But in a couple of months, it was 50 years ago that I wrote my first story for the Ring magazine. The words computers and internet didn't exist back then, and I had a full head of hair. So it was a long time ago. But now still refereeing. You can always tell when I have a gig because through some $6 a box miracle, my hair tends to get a bit darker. But I want to bring everybody, and Doc, I want to bring you the greetings of Bob Trowbridge, the Executive Director of the National Wrestling Alliance. Your history, your loyalty, your dedication to the NWA. Take a look at those posters inside those buildings. It is a museum. Every one of those posters is as real can be. And everybody in this ring with me has their name on there. Because they paid their dues, they took their bumps, they broke their bones, they got in a car and drove 400 miles for $10 or $15 and a six-pack of beer. And it builds character. DWF, the promotion that Doc runs here, please support it. Please support it. It is one of the best. You will always get your money's worth here because Doc respects the fans. And I want to say something to you. My wife Jenny is here. My son Freddie. Doc's right. When we met years ago, he was sewing me up because this bum over here and his pal Manny Fernandez insisted on hitting me with a chair. And it was my stupid fault because I never got out of the way. But it was Doc who came to me, and not only was he there that night, but the phone calls, the concern was very, very real. I love you, Doc. Take care of yourself. May you live as long as you want, never ever want as long as you live. God bless you.
On a quick note, I do have to thank the person who let me do this for the last 20 plus years. That's my wife, Alba. She's out there. Thank you.
Okay, the next one I'd like to bring out is one of our trainers at the school. I met Ron several years ago, but really never had the opportunity to work with him. I've been on a couple cards with him, but he's been nothing but a gentleman. And since he's worked here, what a fabulous guy to work with. I can't say nothing more about it. Just he's great. And he's settled a couple fights between, I like to announce, my partner over there, Mitch Stein, which has became a real good friend of mine since '08. And give it up for Mitch, please. Even though we've had our arguments, Mitch, I love you. And you've been nothing but support for me. I'm sorry. Sorry, people, I can't see. So, Rod Starr, come on out.
Yeah, I know Ron a few years, and I got to say, one of the most humble, one of the most respectful guys that you'll come across. I never get a bear hug like I get from him from anybody else. Thank God, my back shot as it is. But wonderful man, wonderful person in this business. We need more guys like him. Congratulations, Ron.
I'll try to keep it under 45 minutes, fellas. Listen, I do this because I love each and every one of you. I love the fans that come out. Oh, man. I love wrestling. And I wouldn't be here doing this as long as I have, because God knows sometimes I don't even want to do this. But I wouldn't be here as long as I have. God knows it's not for the money, because I'd be as small as someone if I was wrestling to eat. So I just want to say thank you all for coming out to support this show, support indie wrestling, because like Tommy and like Tom said, guys that make it in the Fed are brought up on the backs of indie wrestlers, and I love all you guys, and I'm really kind of speechless. I just want to say thank you and thank Doc and everybody here at DWF Loco, and I'm just going to keep doing it as long as God lets me. So thank you very much.
All right, this next guy I personally know for a long, long time. He found an easy way out of painting his face. He came up with these gimmicks you put on your face. I haven't seen him in a long, long time. We worked a lot of matches together in ECW. Always a good friend, always there to help you out. A hell of a guy. King Kahlua. You know, and it's no. There's a reason you see, everybody that's here has been on every one of those posters, and that's because Doc was loyal to the guys that were loyal to him, and every show he had, he put all of us on there. And if you want proof of that, go look at that wall inside. Mike, here you go, buddy.
I'd like to thank Doc for putting me in this esteemed hall. I really appreciate it, and thanks for getting Karen Kelly to pay us. I know Dick Worley, I wish you would talk with him, because I still think he owes me a few dollars from his buddy Silo Sam, who walked out on us in Ohio. But today's a happy time, so I'm not going to go after him. But just to echo everybody else's words here, if it wasn't for independent wrestling, you're not going to be this close to the action. You're not going to see people this close up where people will actually fall on your lap. This is what it's all about. This is where wrestling came from. Not that stuff that you see on TV today, but the stuff you see here right now. This is stuff that you can come and see, bring your family to, and really enjoy. All right, so I want to thank everybody for coming out. I know in about 15 or 20 minutes you're going to be hating my guts, and that's great. But everybody here, peers, people who are pioneers that I see here, we have nothing but respect for one another, because we've all been in the same boat. A lot of these folks here actually even predate me, which is like, I think there's some real dinosaurs here, but I think I'm now in that category. So
Brandy's been 27 for like 25 years now.
Larry still looks good. I want to see him come out and try and work, but I don't know. He might blow somebody up. But again, thank you, everyone, and again, enjoy the card tonight. And Doc, thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call somebody that's in a nursing home right now. He's a real good friend of mine. It's Hillbilly Cousin Luke, one of the original Mongols.
Listen, Larry Sharpe and Worley and I took a ride down at Doc Diamond show here. It was supposed to be in Pennsauken, but I think it's at the Arctic Circle is what's going on. But anyway, like I told you when we had that New Jersey dinner, a whole bunch of us are kind of getting worn out answering questions about where's Cousin Luke. All right, where's Waldo? But where's Cousin Luke? So here we are in beautiful downtown Pennsauken, New Jersey. And Doc Diamond was nice enough to move this show outdoors. What are you laughing at? Sure, you're probably all nice and warm watching a football game or something. But anyway, listen, I'm going to put this phone near the microphone. And if you could please just say hello to these people so I don't have to talk to them anymore, and they're going to say hello back. So the gentleman's going to put this on speakerphone since I am technologically bankrupt. Hold on one second here.
You're on the air.
Okay. I guess can you hear us there, Gene?
Yeah, I don't know where Cousin Luke is.
That's him. Okay. Well, listen.
Hey, Luke.
You see, you baby faces are all alike. You just can't walk past the mirror without looking in it. And you always got to steal the heat, even if you're 125 miles away.
Beat you at the Dunn Center.
That's true. But anyway, these folks wanted to say hi to you, Gene, and the boys all wanted to say hi. Tom Brandy, Fred Rubenstien, Tommy Cairo, Larry Sharpe, Dick Worley,
Luke's the best.
King Kahlua. The whole old crew is here, with the exception of me. I'm not the old crew. What's that?
I said I love them too.
Okay, you guys heard it.
Yes, we
All right, hey, listen, I'll call you tomorrow at some point. He's going to say, oh, sure.
Killer Cox died.
Oh, thanks for cheering us all up. Anyway, all right, listen, I'll give you a ring tomorrow because if we hustle through this, then maybe Doc will let us go back indoors, okay?
Kamal had his leg cut off.
I know. Hey, listen, you got any more good news? I'm gonna tell these folks that as soon as we get through the really sad part, I'll try to cheer them all up with that good news that you just laid on us. Anyway, I'll give you a call tomorrow. Say goodbye to everybody there, folks.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn this over to Dave Adams, the DWF ring announcer and the only one. We get this show underway.